Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Alright, we're going to do the radio, or we've already done the radio setup. I'm going to show you how I did the radio setup on the X-Fly F-22 Twin 40 Raptor. Alright, now I have installed an AR631 with the antenna going around this way. And there's a 2200 4S right there, pretty much all the way against the bulkhead. Since I've showed you where that is, let's go over CG. Alright, CG is 80 millimeters back from the leading edge root. Now the manual says leading edge of the wing, but it clearly shows from this corner here. That's the leading edge root. So if you want a landmark, if you don't want to put a mark on there, if you find that first screw and put your finger right behind that screw where that round circle is, that's where I've drawn with my Sharpie. And this whole plastic. So if you'll just put your finger, feel for that screw and then just scoot your finger right behind it. Okay. And that's pretty much where she CG pretty good right there. Okay. All right, and that's with a 2200 in there. Now 2600 could fit back a little bit further. And of course, I'm as far forward as I can get. So that's just going to have to do. Be careful how you put your wiring because the hatch just barely clears that. And that's okay. Hatch is magnetic. Now, we were right in that the manual to set up your elevators, you see how they're slightly up just a little bit? Well, that's 2 millimeters up. And the push rods, this one on this side was automatically perfect, and then I had to screw this one out just a little bit to where I got a little bit of where the elevator's up a little bit, but other than that they were fine. They hooked right up. Well, you saw them put together, but I hooked right up, and that gives me the correct deflection there, just slightly up, about a millimeter. Have me 2 millimeters up is what you want there. And now let's verify that again in the manual. I want to show you. I haven't chosen to put the decals on yet. I'll wait a while till I put the decals on. I want to finish up this video. But yeah, that's clearly up. If you look at the top of that picture, you can see how that is up just a tad, and that correlates to what we got on the elevator on both sides. Now we're going to CG already, 80 millimeters back. I set it up with just 2 rates. Low rate aileron is 55%. I'm so glad they gave us percentages. Percentages instead of fractions. And so it gives you millimeters and percentages because on the spectrum, that's all percentages. And the high rate for aileron is 75%. Low 55, high 75. Okay, elevator low is 50, high is 65. Steering for the rudder, because that's all you got, the low is 50% and the high is 70%. So let me just show you the rudder right off the bat. Okay, we're in high. Okay, but I have found that it just went all over the place. So I actually reduced that travel down to 90%, and that's how much, and that's plenty. That actually gets it turned around real easy. All right, so here is high rate aileron. Okay. Okay, and this is the low rate aileron. High rate aileron elevator. Okay, and low rate elevator. I mean, it's okay. Look at the low rate on the elevator. Okay,
high rates.
It's measurably high rates on the aileron. All right, I set the timer for 3.5 minutes. We're going over rates. I put my throttle cut on.
Motor on.
H. Motor's on.
Prop secured.
Prop secured. Now, since I put an AR631, I have gone ahead and done forward programming. When I put my switch all the way to flight mode 1, that's my safe mode. Okay, so watch my elevators. They go up. Okay, they go up. Watch my ailerons, how they hold their positions. Okay. Elevator goes up, that would self-right the plane. In my middle flight mode 2, it's just gyro. Okay, now I have the gyro sensitivity set up to 2 times, so as you can see, it's a lot of correction. And then I can go to my dial and dial that down to next to nothing, and there's no correction, or I can just, here, get just a little bit more. Just a little bit of corrections, and that's at the midpoint, right there at the midpoint on my roller. Now, flight mode, let's see, 1, 2, flight mode 3 is experience mode, and that is no gyro, nothing. And that's probably how I'll take off right off the bat to make sure she's trimmed, and then I'll fly around in flight mode 2, which is AS3X, which is where I have full control, but I've got wind mitigation, and I got a little the gyro helping move this light little plane. Okay, we went over rates, we went over the CG, we went over, did the forward programming. Now I have several videos out there on how to do forward programming, so I didn't do it with this one. The principles apply. You watch one of my forward programming videos on how to set it up, and that applies to all planes. Okay, that applies to all of them. So you don't have to worry about that. So, all right. We got rates. We got CG. We got how I did my radio setup. I took her outside. She passed her range test, the flying colors. So the only thing left now is just to get her out and get a maiden for you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a... She didn't seem like she's a super powerful EDF, but then again, she's a small plane. Let me give you an example. Just kind of hold her here. It'll be kind of loud in here. All right? But what I'm looking for is her to basically almost fly out of my hand here. So,
motor on.
Okay. Basically almost a 1-for-1. Okay, so she's not going to be super fast, but she's going to have enough power to get herself out of her own way. So that's what we're looking for. Almost a 1-for-1. So, all right. Well, folks, there you go. This is the X-Fly F-22 twin 40mm Raptor sent to me by Banana Hobby. Now, I did have to pay them for it, but they did give me a reviewer's discount. I think it was like 20% off, so that I would do a review for them. I'm just letting you know. I'm being full disclosure. I think the normal plane is $169, so I paid $130 something for it. So I still had to pay for it too. So when it crashes, it hurts my wallet too. A lot of the planes that I get for review and stuff, that they just say, well, if you'll review it, we'll give you a hat, I mean, yeah, I'll buy it and I'll review it, or they won't give me anything like E-Flight and FMS. Or E-Flight and anything Horizon Hobby, Motion RC. Now I pay full price just like you do, but I love their products. So there you go. Banana Hobby did recognize that I have a bit of a following, and they did recognize that maybe my influence does affect a few people. So therefore, they gave me a discount. Some planes, like the X-Fly Sirius, they gave that to me at 50% to do a review. This one they gave me a 20%. They did send me that rack system that I did they sent that for free. They said, would you please, we saw your man cave. Will we send you a rack system? Would you do a review on it? I'm like, well, sure. I'm not going to turn down a free rack system. And I think it's like $145, and that sucker's awesome. That thing's awesome. It really is. So anyways, that's that. This is my little channel. I try to be, I'm going to be as honest as possible with these manufacturers. I'll tell them if I don't like the plane, I'm going to say, well, this is why I think it's a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap, but I'm going to say why I believe it's a piece of crap and what we need to do to fix it. However, so far, this plane, other than this canopy not fitting down nice and flush, which more than likely that's just heat got to that foam, and I don't know, I might be able to maybe put a magnet or something in there, but I don't think I can take that out. I mean, it's not going to come off. It's on there pretty good, and it's tongue and groove. So, well, anyways, that's me rambling on. I think we're going to get this hopefully out tomorrow, Saturday, which tomorrow's Saturday, or maybe Sunday after church, and then maybe get her a maiden for you. Something I noticed that's really cool on this plane, like back here, and this is not a touch you find on such a small plane. You see these tips here? That's all hard plastic. And because that's what's going to rock back on the ground when you don't have a battery in it, that's all hard plastic. And that's a nice touch. The inlets here are foam, but they're very, very thick. And unlike the FMS Futura, that's thin as can be, and they got plain plastic, they got this plain foam, but that's very, very thick foam. And so it's almost, and then this tip here on the nose cone, that's plastic. So that's a nice touch for such a small plane. But yeah, I look forward to flying her. I think she's going to be fun to fly. I don't think she's going to be a blazing speed rocket ship, but I think she's going to look really good, fly very scale. And all right, well, there you go. Folks, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Fat Guy Flies RC, Banana Hobby. Thank you for sending this out to me. I can't wait to get a review for it. All right, y'all have a good one. God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, the Jets. Bye.